Howdy folks, welcome back to another beautiful day on Taheton County. Now we've just finished climbing up the bin there to check how full it is and how much space we have left. You can see 1629 bushels and this one holds about 2100 bushels, so we've actually only got space for about 500 more bushels. Not a problem for Uncle and Aunt obviously, because we've finished their harvest, we've got everything in, and they have had, and I must say they are pretty wrapped with exactly what's happened. Huge yields, much more improved on last year, and just the fact we haven't had to sell it or anything like that makes a huge benefit for them, but it doesn't bode very well for me and our leased land. I was hoping we were going to be able to squeeze some of our corn in there, so we're going to have to come up with a plan. I don't know what it is. We might see if we can lease something. I've heard of grain baggers. Haven't tried it with corn before, but maybe that is something we can do. But that is not for today, that is for another day. We're going to have to make some plans, but we are going to head on over. We're going to grab the International here, go and hook it up to the New Holland baler. We've got all those corn stalks over the road from the harvest to get done. So that is the plan for today. Now, you'll notice a couple of changes financially. I'd forgotten to pay Uncle and Aunt for the lease on the other land. That comes out of their account and then I pay them back. So we have transferred that across. But we've also bought a couple of new pieces of equipment that we're going to need for today for the bales. We need some bale loading and bale moving equipment. So we have gone and bought something else, which is going to add to our inventory of equipment, which is exciting. It's always nice to buy something new, but we don't need it just yet. We obviously need to go and get the bales pressed before we can do anything. So I'm going to jump into the International, get it up and running, get the baler hooked up, head on over and start getting some corn stalks baled. Well, here we are, first time actually driving, just realised, first time driving the upgraded International. Of course, we have made the change there to bring it in line with something a little more appropriate for being run in America, rather than the other version of the International we had, which was more of a European style tractor. But don't have to worry about that anymore. Job here is to get this all powered up, get that pickup lowered down, and just get into the field and get some corn stalks baled. Now, we are making 180 centimetre bales, so it is the biggest bales that this baler would make, and hopefully it's all going to go very well. It's picking it up very fast. I'm actually quite impressed with the speed it can pull at and the speed it's picking those up at. That is going to bode well for hopefully getting through this field reasonably quickly. There's a lot of corn stalks out here. I'm just looking at how much we're getting picked up and how far we're going to get around this headland before we do end up with a full bale. But let's just carry on going. We're already 50% full. Now, where are these going? We've got some sold to one of the local dairy farmers. He was going to take a trailer load. We'll just have to figure out what his definition of a trailer load is. But there we go, getting close to full. We're getting the beep there, 90%. Just make sure we don't go too far. 97, 98, 99. There we are. So let's just have a look. Get that bale ejecting. Should be popping up and out. And there we go. All done. Right, that's out. Let's just get that lowered down. We might actually go take a quick look here at what these bales are like. And there it is. You can see, well, don't know why we can see a cob of corn in there. I thought we would have picked all of those up, but you can see the corn in there all wrapped up nice and tight. That's going to be pretty good. Now these are measured by the bushels. Not sure whether that's correct or not. We could probably change the setting, but 312 bushels in there. So not sure what they're going to be worth, but it should be a pretty penny, I hope. Make a decent amount of money off them, make it all worthwhile. Of course, if it is all worthwhile, we will try and do the same over on the leased fields as well. But we'll just jump back up in here and keep on moving. Now, as I was saying, we're going to sell some of these to one of the local dairy farms. We'll just have to finalise exactly how much, and the rest is actually going to go, there's a feed supplies business locally, and they said they will actually take all of the rest. So that is pretty good. We'll be able to deliver those to a couple of different spots and get them sold and get some money off them as well, which will work out really, really well for us. But anyhow, that's enough talk. We're just going to get into the work and get these all baled. I'm going to jump into a little bit of a time lapse to start off with, and we'll catch you once we're a bit further through. So there we go, that is 3 times around the field, and we've managed to pick those headlands up, and my goodness, these corn stalks are doing pretty well. I'm actually surprised at how many bales we've got. Now, I do have the bale counter on, and we're just going to pause there for a little sec. Let's see how many bales we've got so far. 31 bales just going around the headland. That's pretty impressive, I must say. I'm not looking forward to having to pick them all up. That is going to take some time, but the other side of that is it's all money. These are all money, apart from the cost of the baler, which we've picked up ourselves, and potentially a little bit of lost nutrients that it won't go back into the soil because we're taking the stalks off the ground rather than leaving them to decompose back into the soil. Apart from that, this is all pretty much free. We've already got the corn out of it. It's kind of a little bit of a byproduct. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what these are going to be worth once we get them sold. We haven't agreed a price. Just have to see what the market dictates when the time comes. So not much else to do. I mean, we've done the time lapse. We'll try and put together a little bit of a montage. It is just a little bit of the old rinse and repeat, but we need to get it done, and we need to get it done today. So we'll carry on, and we'll see you again soon. So I got in a bit of a groove, and we've just carried on and got the field done. Just running down the very last pass there, and should, I'm hoping, be just enough to get one last bale. But if you have a look across there, we have ended up with a decent number of bales. We'll have a final count, have a look at the bale counter once we get finished, and get up here and get this last one unloaded hopefully, and see exactly how many we have managed to make. It's going to take a wee while to load them up, that's for sure. We'll have to go and get our equipment, go and get our new purchases. We're going to pick those up once we've finished in here, then we'll be able to get back in and get some of these moved off and sold down to the farmer, and then off down to the feed supply store. Just look here, are we going to manage to get another bale? It's going to be touch and go. Got the beep, I think we should be good to go. Yeah, just, there we go. A little bit more, and we're done. And there we are, we'll get that one ejected out. I'm not going to bother doing any more. Just lift that up and turn it off and leave that emptied out. But let's just do a quick tally, have a look and see what we've ended up with. 83 bales total. That is it's a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? I was expecting maybe 40, and remember, we've made the biggest bales we possibly could, the 180 centimetre round bales. So I'm looking forward to getting these sold and seeing how much money we make for them. I think this will be a nice surprise for Uncle. He was a little bit dubious about the whole idea of baling the corn stalks, but he said if I was prepared to go and get my own baler and do it, then he'd be happy for me to do the baling. So we'll see what we end up with financially. But let's get this back over to the farm, get it put away, and then we'll grab the pickup and go grab some new equipment for ourselves. Well, we're just down here at the dealers. We've been in, and apparently everything's all ready for us to go out the back. So we'll head on around this way and see if we can find it. Carry on around the back and look. All the trailers there. That looks like it must be us. So that is what we've got for our bale loading. Got a gooseneck trailer there, so we'll get ourselves backed up to that. And there is a bale fork as well that will go on the front of Uncle's skid steer. So I do hope it is going to be big enough to handle it, but let's have a look there. That's that all hooked up. Right, going to take a quick look. So there we go, there's the gooseneck. I was hoping we were going to get sort of 15 or 20 bales on it, but we might be lucky to get 10, and there's 80 to load, so could be a few trips back and forth. But there is our fork. It's got these folding spears on it, which is kind of nice, makes it a little bit safer when we're driving around. Nice big frame on it, so it's secure, the bale's not going to fall off on us or anything like that. So let's get on back down. That's what we're going to be using. What do you reckon? 4 bales along there, maybe 5 if we stack them on the ramps. We can get 5 along and then maybe 4 on top. That's 14. I'd be happy with that. We could even double up on each side, but have to be mindful we don't obviously want to overload the truck either, all that weight coming through here onto the back axle. So we'll get on back up to the farm. We'll go and grab the skid steer. In fact, we could probably put it on the back of the trailer, drive them both over together, and then go and get into this field and get some bales loaded up. First things first, let's see about getting this bale grab hooked up to the skid steer. If we can get that all sorted out, then we might just put ourselves up there on the back. We've got the ramps down, but we'll just get that lifted up. But first, we go and get this unstrapped. Here we are, that's done. So, jump back in here. Go pull forward just a little bit. We can get this into the right spot. Go a little bit further. Hook that up. There we go, that's done. Now, I think we're going to get that as unfolded down. And that looks like it should all work. Now, I am just looking at the back of this. There's not a huge amount of weight, and it's not really the largest loader in the world. So I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to lift these okay, these bales. They were pretty big. Like I said, we did go for the largest ones available. So we'll get over there. There's only one way to find out really, and that's to give it a go. But let's just put a couple of straps over that just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. There we go, that should be sorted to get those ramps folded up, and we'll be heading over into the field. Alright, we're back over here in the field and we've got everything unloaded, so let's have a go here at loading up our first bale and get it picked up. These forks are pretty wide, but there we go, look at that. I was worried about weight, but that seems to be handling that no dramas whatsoever. Sure, I don't want to be too jerky with any movements or anything like that, but let's go and see about getting our first bale loaded up here onto the trailer. Get over to the side, lift that up, and get that on there. Just need to get in and turn, oh, a little bit too prematurely. There we go. Right, how's that looking? It's not too bad for a first up, is it? I'll take that. Right, let's back that one out of there. Now, the next test is going to be, can we take 2 at once? Or is that really going to be pushing the skid steer just a little bit too hard? We'll have a look, we'll turn around. Grab this one here, get pulled into it, pick that one up. Now, I always find the best way to do this if you're trying to pick 2 up is you put the first one down beside the second one, because then you can put your forks in at the same level and you don't have any issues with trying to get them off on the trailer. But let's just see if we can just manipulate that one in there, slide out, perfect, that's better. Now drive in, pick that up, and let's have a look. So they should be all on the same level, and it's just starting to protest a little bit on those rear wheels, but hey, we're doing it. We're picking up 2 at a time, so that's even better. Right, let's see if we can go and get these ones put on the back of the trailer as well, and then we'll just get into it. Fair few bales to get loaded up though, that's for sure. Right, let's just go up here, try not to bump that first one too tightly, a little bit higher. There we are. Right, that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. If we can just get that backed out of there, Now the only thing, I'm just looking at the back, I think we're only going to get 4 across there. We might just about get 5. We'll give it a go, we'll see how it all ends up. But definitely going to be 4, 8, and then we can get, what, 3 and 6 on top, so 14 maybe per load. That would be ideal if we can get that many, but we'll just have to wait and see how it all works out. So we'll just carry on, get a time lapse done. We will then go and get this one delivered down to the farmer and get paid for it, and then we'll be back to get the rest done and taken down to the feed dealer. So yeah, we'll just see how things go. Could take a while, but we need to get it done. Alright, there we go, we are fully loaded. I didn't comprehend the issues we might had with that with the skid steer, sorry. Not being able to reach actually up to lift up onto the top, but we managed to, a little bit of manipulation, and to be perfectly honest, I am pretty happy with that load. It's probably about the maximum you'd want to be putting up on this. Let's just go through. I just want to make sure we can obviously strap everything on. Just go through and get all these done up. Here we go, 2 more. One at the front. Right, there we go. So that's all strapped up. That one there's already across that, so I'm going to change anything, is it? No. Right, so we're going to head on to the dairy farm. We've got 18 bales up on there. We'll figure out what they're worth, and hopefully we'll get a decent amount of money for them. So go for a drive and go and get these dropped off. Well, we've made it over here to one of the dairy farms. We're actually not that far away from the, well, there you go, actually, there's the top dressing plane taking off, so you can just see their sheds and everything down there. So we're not too far away. This is one of the local dairy farms, and they have just taken our bales. We've all unloaded, they've got them put away already. Incredibly efficient, but $13,331 is what they paid us for that load. They gave the feed store a call, said how many bales we had, what they were worth, or how big they were, and yeah, that was what the feedlot said, that's what they're worth. So we agreed on a price, which is fantastic. So that's this one load undone, or unloaded. So we're going to head back on down to the field, get the rest of them all loaded up. They don't need any more, that was enough for them. So we're going to head on down to the feed store, which is all the way over the other side, down by the agronomist, down by the grain silos we sell into, down that way. So that's where we're going to go and take the rest to get sold. So we're going to jump back in, carry on driving, get back down to the farm, and we will get some more bales loaded up, get them all cleared out of the field and get them all sold. Right, here we are. We'll get pulled into the field, coming from a different angle this time, not that it really matters, and we'll drive on over. So there's a fair few bales still to go, but if we can get 16 on each load, I think it's going to take maybe 5 loads. What's that? That's 80. Can't even remember how many bales we ended up with now. Is it 81? Somewhere around there. So that's the plan. We'll carry on down this way, go and clear off this side of the field over where the skid steer is first. Actually, maybe it's not going to be quite that bad, because there's not actually too many left up in here as I start looking around. But let's carry on, we'll get them all loaded up and go and get them sold. So we're just going to get that done, a bit more time-lapsing of the process, and probably catch you once we're all done. But I can tell you what, when we get back over and tell Uncle how much we're making off these cornstalk bales, he is going to be blown away. Something that he's never thought about doing, and sort of laughed at me a little bit when I suggested doing it, and well, look at how much it's paid off already. So very, very pleased with how that's going. Right, enough talking, jump in the skid steer and we'll go and get loading. Alright, well I think this is going to be our last full load. There's not quite enough bales left for another load. We'll just get these all strapped down. But, oh look at that. Like, what are we up to? $15,000 and we've still got another $13,000 worth of bales here. So this is paying off big time. Now let's just go and have a look. What can I count over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bales. Let's see, there's some hiding. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. 10 bales, so another half load. It's going to be worthwhile taking it and getting it delivered down to the feed store. But yeah, there we go, that's looking good. Now I do notice that our fuel tank is flashing in the red, so hopefully we're going to have enough to get back down. I think there's a fuel station down there at the corner, down by the feed supplies place. We're dropping this off, so we'll go down, get this load sold, top up with some diesel, and then we'll be back here to get those last 10 bales lifted, put in the back. Down here for the third time, getting this load delivered and sold. It's been interesting actually watching the price. As we have been supplying bales here, the price has slowly been just declining, just a little bit. Not hugely, but just enough that it's noticeable that we have not earned quite so much off the bales. Is that one going to sell? No, but 11,696 and 1,100, so just under 1,300, and the others have been just a bit over 1,300, but it's just going to give this a gentle little nudge in. There we go. Basically there we go, that's a good way to look at it, $367. Even though it's saying pounds, $367 per bale. Now, we did, and I'll be completely honest with you, we did just run out of diesel as we were driving along here. It would have worked out perfectly. It happened as we were coming along the road, and we ran out of fuel, and I had enough pace on to get to the gas station, but unfortunately the way the game is, it actually turns off your vehicle and you're out of gas. Makes sense, but it disables your steering as well. So we'll get in here, get pulled up to the hump, and we'll get ourselves topped up, and we'll get back down to get those last 10 bales on the back. Now what I was thinking, we might just leave those on the back of the trailer, because obviously when we go and bale the corn stalks over in the other fields, we'll have those to bring down and sell too, so there's no point just running 10 down. We might as well wait until we have a full load in a little bit more time. So that's the plan. Jump out here, we will get some gas put in. There we go, $180 worth of gas. I think we can afford to pay for that after getting all those bales sold. Right, back down to the field it is, last 10 bales on the back, and then we'll be able to call it a day. And this is us done and dusted. 83 bales total. 11 that were left in the field here, not 10, I miscounted, even after trying twice. But let's get that one put on the back here, without any drums. Little skid steer's done a great job. Really do need something a bit bigger though. It's not the best size piece of equipment for what we're doing in here, but it has done a good job and really has been pushed to its limits. Trying to get those bales right at the top there. Let's go and get that strap across there, this one across the top, and that one across the top, and that's us all strapped down. Now like I said, I think we're going to keep hold of these for now. We'll worry about taking them down when we get the rest. What do we need on the top there? 2, 4, 6, 7 more bales. There's space for 7 more bales on there, so it's really not worth running it down. We can just go and park that over in the shed and get it filled up next time. So I think, in fact, we'll leave the skid steer here for now. Put it down, turn that off, and we'll take this back over to the yard and get it backed into one of the sheds. Well, there we go, we've got that backed into the shed. I think it's just in. It was a pretty tight squeeze across the top there. We might actually have to get the skid steer in and possibly take those top 2 bales off. I'm not sure if we're going to get it back out again or not, but that's us all put away, and that is those bales all loaded up. Now, I'm going to go and give Uncle the great news about how much money we've just made off those, and how good it is to have the farm back in the black, and we haven't even sold any of our crops yet. So we've got that all sitting there. We've now got the great little bit of working buffer, bit of capital sitting there to be able to pay off some more of the loan and really start to plan for what we're going to be doing here across the winter and in spring next year, because while we've had some good plans so far and made some great developments, there is still plenty more that we can do here for Uncle to get the farm back up to the former glory, or at least get it up to the position it should be in after all the hard work that they've put into it. But for today's episode, I think that is us all done. I'm going to run over and grab this good steer and get that put back over here as well. Next time, I'm hoping we'll be back here in November and we'll get a good pocket of weather to be able to get our own corn harvested. I'm looking forward to that and figuring out how much money we might make for ourselves. So stay tuned for that one. But for today, that is us done. So as always, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode and I'll catch you in the next one.